Welcome to a day in Sintra. There's so much to explore, but so little time. And in this video, we'll guide you through our one day in Sintra adventure.
But before we dive into our journey, if you're planning your own trip to Sintra that's longer than a day trip, be sure to check out our detailed guide on our blog for a complete guide to Sintra, Portugal.
Okay, now let's jump back into our one day in Sintra. So Sintra is a popular day trip from Lisbon, and its highlights can definitely be done in one day. Now, starting your Sintra day trip is as easy as hopping on a train. The journey from Lisbon's Rocio train station in the Baiaxa district is a mere 40 to 45 minutes. We actually stayed near the Orient train station, which is just a little bit further away. Now, visiting Sintra by train is not only convenient, but it is fairly quick. Trains to Sintra depart roughly every 20 minutes from Lisbon, starting around 8 a.m., so you'll have to get up a little bit early, with the last train returning around midnight.
Yeah, so we suggest starting as early as possible on your day trip to Sintra. So catch that first train from Lisbon at 8 a.m. from the Rocio's train station, and you'll arrive in Sintra about 8:40. If you do this, you'll have plenty of time and flexibility to see a lot in one day.
So once you leave this train station, you can catch the Sintra bus 454 at 8:50, and then that way, your first stop of Pena Palace is only 20 minutes away. And conveniently, the bus is located right in front of the train station. But I'll warn you, be prepared for long lines, especially during the high season.
Yeah, so we suggest just getting an Uber or a taxi or even a tuk-tuk. Ubers and taxis are very affordable, and tuk-tuks are all over the place, and you can get them from the train station to get there quicker. Tuk-tuks may cost more, but they may be faster.
Now, most visitors to Sintra start at Pena Palace, probably because it is the most popular, and it also gets busiest the fastest. But Quinta de Regaleira is also a great place to start and is actually closer to Sintra station. Truthfully, it's up to you where you want to start. Either one of these are good, just as long as you get there first thing in the morning or you're there around the last entrance of the day.
For this guide, we are going to head to Pena Palace, the star of Portugal. And you cannot miss visiting this place when you're in Sintra. One thing to note, though, is you have to book your ticket in advance. And we have the links below where you can do that. You're going to need to book your day and time because they are timed entrances. And you're going to want to do that as soon as possible. It books out fast.
One quick thing to remember is that there is still another 15-minute hike from the gates all the way up to the entrance of the palace. So if you do have a timed ticket, you'll need to factor that in, the walking up as a hill, of course.
That was something we didn't do. Yeah. We had 6 minutes till our timed entrance, so we ran. Because if you miss that timed entrance, you do not get to go in. They will turn you away, and you've thrown your money away.
We just barely made it for our timed entry. It took 35 minutes to get up here on a tuk-tuk, which cost us €40. If we waited for our Uber, we wouldn't have made it. And then we got dropped off and had to run up for a 15-minute walk. It was already 20 after. We made it up here in 7 minutes.
Now, if you don't want to go inside the palace and just want to look at the exterior, which is really pretty amazing and a great experience unto itself, you do not need the timed entrance. You can still walk around all those palace grounds and take in the views and everything from the outside. So if you're not really into the history and the details of the palace, just think about that. It can be a little bit easier and a little less stressful. And what do you see inside there? Like, how would you describe it?
Well, you can expect to see beautiful rooms of lavishly decorated furniture, and there's cloisters, and there's all these Portuguese tiles inside. I found it really beautiful. And one thing I noticed that the higher up we got, the less the crowd, or the more the crowd thinned out.
Yeah. And I think the real highlight definitely was walking around those castle walls and taking in the views, for sure.
So depending on the time of day now, after you've seen the palace and seen all of the different views, you may want to grab a drink or a snack. might be ready for some lunch.
And a bit pecking.
Yes, and Pena Palace does have a cafeteria inside the wall, so you could grab a snack and a drink and fill up that water before you move on.
Yeah, and after touring the castle, you can also enjoy a hike through Pena Park.
But if you don't think you have the time to do it, you don't need to see this because you'll have seen a lot of Pena Palace from all of the places near the grounds. So you may want to head just directly to your next stop on your Sintra itinerary, and that is the Moorish Castle.
Yes, exactly. Also known as Castelo dos Moros. It's a gem that takes you back to the 8th and 9th centuries. It's absolutely gorgeous. And conveniently enough, you can walk to the castle from Pena Palace, which is about 20 minutes.
Yeah, but if you really feel that you're under the gun, you can call an Uber or a Bolt. And there are plenty of taxis and tuk-tuks that are just hanging outside Pena Palace that you can hail and get directly to the Moorish Castle, because we're only in a day, so you may not want to spend 20 minutes walking.
Yeah, and this place is really impressive. It was originally constructed by the Moors, and it served as a fortified stronghold overlooking the Sintra region. And really, a pivotal point in history was when it came under Christian rule, following the conquest of Lisbon and Santarém by Alfonso Henriques, the first king of Portugal in 1147.
Oh yeah, and we visited the first king of Portugal's palace in Guimarães. We have a whole video of that too if you want to check it out.
And today, what you can do is you can take a walk along the castle walls. But other than that, there isn't a whole lot left of the palace itself. But I suggest taking time to walk around the walls and the ramparts because it is those panoramic views over Sintra that really stand out.
So if you didn't grab lunch or a snack at Pena Palace, hey, there's good news. The Moorish Castle has a cafeteria as well, and this is great if you want to save time and just grab some food before you head on to the next destination. If you want to head into Sintra and really experience a little bit of the culture in an outdoor cafe or something, grab an Uber and go back downtown to Sintra and have lunch in the historic center. There are a lot of cafes and restaurants to choose from.
Oh yeah, I remember our tuk-tuk driver pointed out the Periquita Bakery, which has the best pastéis de nata in town.
Everybody in Portugal has the best pastéis de nata.
Of course, it's a common theme.
It is.
But I do suggest stopping there because it does date back to 1862, and the king himself actually frequented this place. So, it's got to be good, right?
I think so. After lunch, you can visit the National Palace of Sintra. It's located in the heart of the historic center, and it's just a short stroll from all of the restaurants that are downtown. And the National Palace is a must visit. It served as the royal residence since the 15th century. It's an icon of the town, and you'll really notice it. It's recognizable by its large chimneys and its white Gothic architecture, and it just stands out proud in a square on its own. And inside, what can you expect to see? Well, you can expect some Moorish lattice work, the coat of arms. There's a lot of elaborate tile work that you'll see throughout Portugal, and it has beautiful rooms, such as the famous Swan Room, the Magpie's Room, and the Arab Room.
You're nearing the end of your day now, so you will not want to miss out on the Quinta de Regaleira.
Quinta de Regaleira was our favorite place in Sintra.
By far.
Yes. It's this grand house that stands at the center of these sprawling gardens, and there's fountains and towers, and there's even a chapel on the garden's grounds. It's really incredible to see. So you'll want to spend at least an hour or two there. So book your skip the line ticket for 2 hours before closing. It closes at around 7 p.m., but you're going to want to check the website for updated hours as it changes for seasons. And what we say is go late in the day because you'll see fewer crowds. And you want to visit this place when there's no crowd.
Yeah, it was built in the early 20th century by Antonio Augusto Cavararo Monteiro. I think that's how you can say it. I don't know.
Dave. That sounded very Portuguese to me.
Oh, good. I've been working on it.
Yeah.
Now, Monteiro was a collector of art and rare objects, and he actually used the Quinta da Regaleira as a showcase for this collection.
There is a lot to discover on these grounds, but the main attraction is the initiation well, and you may recognize it.
Yeah, it's lots in tons of photos, right? Yeah.
The initiation well is this Gothic spiral staircase that looks like an inverted tower, and it descends deep down into the earth. Now, this well was used as an initiation for the Freemasons. It symbolized them walking down and was a journey of rebirth. And it's all filled with this Masonic symbolism. So you want to keep your eyes out for all of the little hints of masonry and Masonic symbols.
Make sure you check out the star down at the very bottom of the well. That's pretty cool to see from the top as well.
It's really cool.
Because you do have a chance to walk down the well, down those circular stairs, and then explore the underground caves that lead from the well. There's even a few little waterfalls under there as well. I remember when we were walking through there, I could only imagine what it was like for those inductees into this whole secret society. It was really cool. There's a lot of mysticism I felt there.
I bet they were terrified.
Yeah. Oh, I bet you they were. We call it mysticism and intrigue, but they were just terrified.
And if you want to flip this itinerary around, you can start at Quinta de Regaleira, do everything else in between, and then end at Pena Palace as well. You just want to make sure either one of these is at the beginning or the end of your day, because that's when you want to, avoid all of the...
Yeah. So after exploring the palaces and mystical gardens, it's actually time to stroll through the really charming streets of Sintra town on your way to dinner. Now, the historic town center of Sintra is a beautiful example of romantic architecture, and it's really fun to walk through the narrow streets and staircases that lead all throughout this amazing Portuguese city. And you can see why the Portuguese royal family cherished Sintra as their preferred holiday retreat.
And it's just a great place to hang out. You can really spend the evening just having an aperitivo, maybe an apero spritz.
Oh, that sounds good. We did that.
Yeah, we did. You can sit out in one of its outdoor cafes, do some shopping, or you can simply people watch. But after you've had your little cocktails, make sure to try some of the restaurants or cafes in town. There's a couple of places that are really popular, and that's the Saudade or the Incomum by Luis Santos. If you want to be close to the train station and be ready to leave to go back to Lisbon, we recommend Metamorphosis because it's quite close to the train station. One thing you want to do is make sure that you make a reservation for the restaurants. We did not make a reservation, and we walked around to all these places and we just got turned away with our mouths drooling, looking at all the great food. We actually found a great restaurant on an unassuming street. It's called A Raposa. It was just off the main street on the second floor, and it was excellent. It was awesome. It was so ornate and beautiful, the building, and the food was fabulous. So I highly recommend trying any Portuguese cuisine because they love their food.
So I guess that does it. That is our one-day adventure in Sintra. Before we leave you, I do want to give you one big tip when you're planning your Sintra day trip. It is that you should purchase your tickets in advance. I can't stress this enough. This can save you time and money and really just make it a more enjoyable experience.
And plus, this is a very popular place in Portugal, so if you don't book your tickets in advance, chances are you won't be able to get inside anything.
Yeah.
It all gets sold out months in advance.
Now, you can also book tickets at our tours that come right from Lisbon if you want to do it all on a tour. That's an option as well, and we'll throw a few selections of those down in the description below.
So there you have it. From the stunning Pena Palace to the picturesque town center, we've explored some of the top must-see spots, all in one day in Sintra.
And if you're looking to spend more time out here, or you just want more information about traveling in Portugal, well, be sure to check out our blog post for the ultimate guide on planning your trip in Sintra.
We cover where to stay, tips on how to save money, and all those things that will make your next trip to Portugal the best. We have all the links to that in the description below and to all of the tours in the description below.
And remember, if you enjoyed this video, please like and subscribe for more of our upcoming adventures and tips just like these ones.
Thanks for watching, and we'll see you next time.
Ciao for now.